Okay, guys, so let's start with today's session. Okay, so today, as per our plan, we are planning to discuss about the programming. Okay, programming. So, in the last session, if you remember, we have been working with the Linux commands, okay, which is one of the prerequisites to work with ROS. Okay, so we have seen the basics Linux commands that may be using when we are working with robots. Okay, and I have mentioned that these topics like USB to serial communication, camera interfacing, those things maybe we can discuss after the programming. Okay, so in the meantime, you will have an experience with commands and also programming. Okay, so today's session we can start with the programming fundamentals. Okay, so specifically we are planning to discuss on C++ and Python. Okay, so if you know, like, I'm not sure you know about this. In robotics, mostly we are working in, like, if you are planning for a prototype of an algorithm, maybe we will use MATLAB. Okay, or open source alternative of MATLAB like Octave or Scilab. Okay, so this is for prototyping, in the sense if you have an algorithm, you can just test it using these tools. Okay, but if you want to program something and deploy something on the robot, mostly we are preferring C, C++, and Python. Okay, so C++ is what we are mainly using in high performance application, because C++ is like it's not complicated as C, but it's not bad. I mean, it can perform. Very well like C also. Okay, so and it's object oriented. I will explain about that. And also we are using Python to work with robots. Python is again very easy programming language. We will discuss about C++ and Python, by the way, but I'm just giving an introduction. So Python is a scripting language. Okay, it's not like a compiled language. We don't need to compile Python code. We just need to run it. So it's actually do the checking in the runtime. Okay. So these two languages are the prerequisites to start working on ROS and robots, basically. Okay, so I just want to know how many of you know C++ programming. Maybe, yeah. Okay. So how many of you know C++ programming? Maybe you can just comment. Maybe I can just put a comment on it. No C++ programming. You can just give a thumbs up to this text. So how many of you know C++ programming? Okay, so one. Okay, yeah, good. So 4 of you already know C++. Good. 5. Okay. Yes. Yeah, that is good. That is good. And I just want to ask, how many of you tried C++ programming in Linux? Can you just do a thumbs up for that? Let me see what is happening. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Only 3, right? Okay, great. Yeah. So from that, I think Rajesh and Jarin, they are actually, our course instructors. And just, yeah, okay. So from the course members, only one person I actually tried with C++ and Linux, right? And just want to know how many of you tried Python. Maybe you can do a thumbs up for that, so that I will get a clear-cut idea of your understanding. Oh, great. I think most of you have tried Python programming language. And Python in Linux, how many of you tried? How many of you tried Python in Linux? Okay. Yes. Nice. Yeah, it's actually very nice. Yeah. Okay, so I think you don't need much introduction, but this is a recording video as well, so I will just go through the basics. Okay, anyway, yes, so let me just start. So I'm actually referring my book called Rose for Absolute Beginners for this programming session. So in this book, the second chapter is what I'm referring, and the second chapter is about C++ fundamentals, and the third chapter is about Python fundamentals. Okay, so first we can see the C++ fundamentals. Okay, and then we can see how to like write program in Ubuntu, and then how to compile it, all those stuff. Okay, and I will not discuss too much details on it. I hope you have a basic idea, so I will just go through these commands and how to debug a program, and everything is mentioned in the chapter, so I'm just doing a walkthrough of this. Okay, and yeah, and one of the important thing that we have to discuss is the object-oriented concept. Okay, object-oriented programming, so that we will see some of the basic stuff, like how to write a class, then those kind of stuff. Okay, and these code examples are already present in the GitHub. Okay, so you can check it. Okay, so we will try to see. So these all are the things that we are using in robots. Okay, so the object-oriented concepts, object-oriented programming is very important. Both C++ and Python is object-oriented, so we have to see what is object-oriented and what are the things that we can do with it. Okay, so it's already mentioned, and then and then files, exception handling. So there are a lot of things to check. I'm not sure we can complete everything, but we can simply go through the fundamentals, and then yeah, that's it. And also like how to build a project, Linux C++ project and all. Okay, so I have the code and all, so I will do a walkthrough. Okay, so let's start. So I'm just starting with the Robocademy Ubuntu virtual machine. So if you are in Linux, then you are ready to go. But if you are working in virtual machine, then you can start the virtual machine like me. So you can just start, and then we can start doing some hands-on things. Just a second. Okay, so let it start. Yeah, so maybe I can start with an brief history of C++. I'm not trying to explain everything. It's about like I think the C++ I think started in 1983, and there are a lot of versions came after that. Okay, so it's actually a what will I say, like an extension of C. Okay, extension of C programming. Okay, and the advantage of C++ is the main thing is the addition of class. Okay, class. So you can see here there are different versions they released, and the latest version, I think C++ 20. Okay, so I have an experience with C++ when I was studying, I think in 10th standard or something. We have a thing called Turbo C++. Okay, Turbo C++. I'm not sure how many of you work with Turbo C++. Maybe I can just do a comment. Turbo C++, anyone? Anyone tried Turbo C++ before? Yep, great. Yeah, most of you all tried. Okay, that's great. Yeah. So the Turbo C++, I think you are familiar with. This is a thing. So mostly like we will have Windows, and then you have to take DOS prompt, and you have to start the Turbo C++, or there will be an icon to start the Turbo C++. It's like this, a blue screen, and you can write the program, and then you can compile and run. Okay, so this is what the first experience for me with the C++. Okay, but it's actually for Windows. And then I think I got an understanding with C++ in Linux, I think in 2008 or something. Okay, it's actually a very long gap. What I thought was C++ is Turbo C++. Okay, but the reality is Turbo C++ is just a version, or like there are many releases of C++. Okay, so Turbo C++ is kind of an IDE, and there is another C++ called Dev C++ something. I mean, there are different variants, like different distributions in Linux. Okay, so one of the variant is Turbo C++. So the main difference is that there are some differences in the header files. Okay, for example, in Linux, maybe we don't have the conio.h. Okay, conio.h in Linux, but in Turbo C++ it is there. Okay, so there are some changes, but if you understand the basics of C++, the class and everything, I think it will be easy to understand Linux, I mean C++ in Linux. Okay, there are very minor variation. Okay, so this was the start. I think most of you are familiarized with C++ from Turbo C++, but that is pretty fine. Okay, if you have an idea, then you can work with it. Okay, and then I mean, currently the latest version is C++ 20. Okay, we can just search latest C++ version is C++ 20. Okay, and mostly in if you are working with ROS Noetic, we will be working with C++ 17, I guess. Okay, 17, or popular version is C++ 11. Okay, so which is actually released in, I think, 2011, I guess. Okay, but after that, yeah, C++ 11 was a very popular one. In 2011 it's released. Then C++ 17 is there. Then now it's 20. So you can find all these version in Linux. In Ubuntu you can find all this version. Okay, and we are not much bothered about the version as well. Like the advantage of using latest version is that the latest version is having some more functionalities. Okay, some more functionality. But if you are planning to use it, then you can use it. But I mean, C++ 11 is enough for us. I mean, a lot of things are there, a lot of functionality. But if you are going with the latest version, you can find new features in C++. Okay, so learning C++ is not an easy task. Okay, like the versions are changing, and the APIs, or like the functions, different header files are coming, and the usages are changing. Okay, so mostly if you know C++, it will be like the version from C++ 98. Okay, and C++ 98 maybe you may be familiar with, I guess. There is a book from an Indian author called Balaguruswamy. So I'm not sure you may be referring that. I can show you that book. This was one book I have referred while I was studying C++. And the good thing is that this book is very simple. Okay, so he actually mentioned everything about C++ from the very basics. And so I think this is one of the simplest book that you can find. And the advanced book is C++ from the Straps. Just a sec, I'm not able to spell the name. Let Google correct it, or I can just search. Yeah, I think my spell is different. So there is a book from the founder of C++. So, but the problem is it's very difficult to digest. It's actually like a Bible. Okay, it's a very big book, and you will get the PDF. I think I have the PDF as well. So this is like a reference for the C++ programming language. Okay, so if you are going with maybe a higher studies, or maybe in any companies, okay, one of the potential skill that employer is looking for a robotic software engineer is C++ programming. So for example, I just want to take the latest job posting. So let me see what is the expected skill set from the applicants. So this is a opportunity from Bosch Bangalore. Okay, so Bosch companies from Germany. Okay, so they will do projects. The Bosch India will do projects from Germany as well. So this is mainly into a robotic software profile, specifically on ROS developer. So you can see a strong C++ experience. Okay, and there is a thing called Boost library. Okay, no need to worry about. It's actually a library in C++. So what is library? It's like it is having some higher level functionality. Like we can simply use the function from Boost, okay, which will do lot of things. Okay, so Boost is providing some easy API or easy functions to do big stuff. Okay, so they are looking for Boost libraries, and then so by default, you can install Boost in Linux very easily, and you can see here C++ 11 or above. Okay, so you can understand this is the first skill set they are mentioning. Okay, so this will be the same if you are planning to work with a masters, or if you are planning to work with as a research associate or anything. I think C++ will be one of your key skill set. Okay, then obviously ROS 2, then navigation, SLAM, all those stuff, and yeah, again C++, then the Python experience, but Python is coming as second, C++ is first. Yes, yeah, so these are the skill set, and you can find this skill set from any of the robotic software engineering profile. Okay, so I'm just saying like these are the requirements. So what we are discussing in the session will be very basics, but I just want to give some pointers how much you have to learn. Okay, basically, even if we are learning ROS, our key skill set should be in programming. Okay, so for me, my skill set in programming is into C++ and Python. Okay, and ROS is actually a framework. Okay, so by knowing ROS and by not knowing programming language, then you will have problems. Okay, understanding ROS is actually for like creating application based on the client requirement. For me, I'm actually working with different companies abroad, so they are coming up with different requirements. So I have to give solution to them using ROS, C++, and Python. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that C++ is a big stuff. Okay, it's a big fish. Okay, and from this session, what we are trying to explain is that some of the basic stuff, like starting with C++, and then I will show you how to proceed with it. Okay, so in order to work with ROS, obviously we need a good skill in C++. Okay, and from this session I can give some idea to start with. Okay. Okay, so let's start with C++, maybe a hands-on session. Okay, so first what you have to do is you can take the terminal. Okay, I hope you are familiar with these terms. Okay, okay, and then take the terminal, and then you can see just a second. Okay, so you can just type GCC or G++, anything will be fine. Okay, GCC or G++, just type that command. Okay, so I will put the command now, just a second. How many of you getting error? You can just do a thumbs up. How many of you are getting error if when you enter the GCC or G++ command? You can just do a thumbs up. Only one. Okay, so others are not getting this error. Okay, okay, fine. So I hope you maybe install ROS or something, but in my case this is a fresh installation. Okay, this is a fresh Linux installation. I didn't install anything on it. Okay, so what is this thing like GCC or G++? What is this thing? I can explain. So we have worked with Turbo C++, right? So Turbo C++ is an IDE, and you can write C++ program and compile it. Okay, in case of Linux, again you have two options. You can either work with IDE, okay, like Turbo C++, but Turbo C++ is not compatible, but there are different IDEs. Okay, IDE, I hope you understood the term. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. Okay, it's simply like a GUI in which you can write program and compile it visually, I mean graphically. And the second method is compiling and running the C++ program using commands. Okay, so as a robotics engineer, what I will suggest you is that you have to learn both these approaches. Okay, for example, we will see an IDE after discussing the basics of programming. For example, if you are working with a big project, then I will prefer to use an IDE. Okay, so for us there is a lightweight editor come IDE. I will say it's not completely IDE. It's called VS Code. Okay, we will see that later. So I am actually using VS Code for developing ROS based application, both for C++ and Python. But I also work with the command line. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is that I am trying to compile a C++ program. Okay, so for that I need to write a program and compile it. Okay, so this is the way that we are taking if we are planning to work from command line. Okay, so I'm trying to show you how to write a program and then compile it and run it. Okay, okay, so if you are getting this error, like if you G++, and if you are getting this error, then I think the G++ is already installed. Okay, but if you are getting no command found or something like that, like this, then you have to install the following command. Okay, I mean you have to execute the following command. I will explain, no problem. Okay, I can post this command. If you don't have this command, by default. Just a second. Sudo apt install build essential. Okay, so basically we are installing a package called build essential. Let me try that. Okay, it's already installed in my computer, but if you are not getting a command called g++ in your system, then you have to install a package called build essential. Okay, it's very simple. The build essential is a package having C and C++ compiler. Okay, so when I installed Ubuntu, the build essential is installed by default. Okay, so that means you have the compiler for C and C++ in Linux. Okay, so you don't need to install anything. When you install Linux or Ubuntu 20.04, by default the C++ compiler is available. Okay, so the next question is how to write a program in C++ and compile it and run it. Okay, so I can show you very easily. So the first thing is writing the program. So in order to write a program in Ubuntu, you need a text editor or IDE, right? So first I'm going with a text editor and then I'm just typing my code. Okay, so I will prefer not to use gedit. I will prefer to use command line text editors called Nano. Okay, so I just changed my mind and I'm going with the command line text editor. Okay, so for creating a hello world program in C++, what I'm doing is nano space hello world.cpp. Okay, so this means the text editor will open a new file with a name called hello_world.cpp. Okay, so this is the command line text editor. Okay, so what I'm trying to trying to teach you is that try to work as much as from the command line. Okay, then only you will be used to the Linux command, and that will be definitely help you while working with the robots. Okay, so I have the text editor and then you can type it. You can just press enter, then you can use the arrow keys for navigation. You can just type. Okay, so it's just a text editor and then I'm starting writing C++ program. Okay, so here is the basic C++ program. I'm just typing it, and after that someone should explain each line of this code because you already know C++, right? So someone should explain the code, I mean line by line. That's what I'm expecting. Okay, so can anyone explain this code from line 1? Can anyone explain? Because you're already familiar with C++, right? So I mean, maybe someone can explain this simple code. Can anyone explain? Any idea? Because you already know C++, right? So I think it's not a big deal. Can anyone explain? Okay. Yeah, I think Rajesh is typing something. Yeah, anyone from the course course, can anyone explain? Yes, I think someone is trying. Okay, so I think you may have some confusion, right? Like in Turbo C++, it was iostream.h, and then we are seeing like using namespace std, and yeah, so this is slightly different, right? Slightly different. Okay, I will explain it. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm just saving the file. Okay, so in order to save the file, what you have to do is Control O. Okay, Control O. So this is the shortcut key to write the file with a name. Okay, here you can see what is the file name that we have to use for writing. So hello_world.cpp. Okay, we have saved it. Writing means saved it, and the shortcut is here. Okay, so this means Control O will write out. Okay, Control X will exit. Okay, so I am pressing Control X for exit, and then I'm using ls to see the file. Okay, so if you have any confusion, you can ask. Okay, so in order to compile means C++ is a compiled programming language, meaning there is a program called compiler, and the duty of the compiler is it will read the C++ program. Okay, in case of C++ compiler, and then it will find out the issues. If there is any issues in the syntax or like some other issues present in the code, it will highlight and it will show to us. Okay, if there is no error, then what the compiler program does is that it will create an executable of this program. Okay, so the output that we are expecting from this program is it should print a hello world message. Okay, so this is the program output that we are expecting. Okay, so in order to compile this program, what we have to do is we need to use a command called g++. Okay, which is the compiler for C++ in Linux. Okay, you can note it's g++. Okay, g++ space the file name or the code name. Okay, so you can see here it's very easy actually. You can just mention the file name, and the first command should be g++ and then the file name. That's it. Okay, so what happened if I'm doing it? It's not throwing any error. Okay, it just came to the next line. That's it. Okay, so let me modify the code. Okay, when I'm opening the code, I can use the same command, because if I'm using nano space hello world.cpp, it will try to open the file. Okay, so I'm just giving a slight, I'm adding a mistake. Okay, maybe instead of colon, I'm just giving this. Okay, and then saving it, then I'm compiling it. So something happened. See, it thrown some error. See, the compiler is saying, it's pointing to, hey look, hello world.cpp 9th line 27th column. Okay, 9th line 27th column, there is missing terminating character. Okay, so missing terminating. So the compiler is seeing some issue with this. Okay, and it's saying there is an error. Then it's saying on 927, meaning 9th line 27th column, it is expected a semicolon before this. Okay, so you got an idea, right? you got an idea, like there is a problem in this part. Okay, so if you get any error, just take the code again, then correct it, save it, and then compile it. Okay, so if you compile it, then you can see some file. Okay, just a second. Yeah, Rohan, do you have any questions? Okay, I think yeah, I think Rohan is having some questions. Anyway, like, yeah, I can proceed. Yeah, so can you able to see any new message here? Any new message? I mean, not message, new file here. Any new file? Oh, okay. You guys are getting some error, right? Let me check. So Justin is getting an error like build essential. Still error is coming. I can see new message. Okay, I think even if you install the build essential, it's still showing the error, right? So maybe I can clarify. Let me take the command again. So I hope after installing this, you should get this. I think that's what I am feeling. So Justin, can you try to install it again? Because after installing this, you will get access to this command. Okay, so you will get this error, meaning this command is available. Okay, the command is available, but it is expecting an input file. Okay, so yeah, so Justin is asking a question. So the line displayed on your terminal was an error. Yes, it was. Like I can manually make an error here. Okay, instead of semicolon, I'm just adding a hyphen or something. I mean, yeah, comma. Then I'm just compiling it using G++, and then I'm getting an error. Okay, so it will not do the compilation. It's actually throwing an error. Okay, so then you have to correct it. Okay, you have to correct it and then save it and do the G++ hello world, and then it's done. Okay, so if you have any confusion, you can message, no problem. Maybe I can open the discussion channel here. That will be good for you. Okay, so the new file that we are seeing is a.out. Okay, so Justin is asking G++ fatal error. Yeah, you can proceed. You can proceed, Justin. This means the command G++ is there. Okay, so that's what we need. Okay, so you have the command in your computer. Now you have to write a code and compile it. Okay, so just make sure if you use G++ command like this, G++ hello world, make sure the hello world.cpp is present on the same path. So if you just do ls, you can see hello world.cpp, right? Then you can do g++.hello world.cpp. Okay, otherwise you have to mention the path as well. Okay, yes. So you can see here the a.out, which is called the executable. Okay, it's called the executable. So what is an executable? The compiler program actually taken the source code, then compiled it and created an executable. Okay, so the executable is a file in which we can execute it, we can run it. Okay, so in order to run this executable, we can use ./a.out. Okay, ./a.out. So it will show the hello world message. Okay, which is the output of the hello world.cpp program. Okay, so this is the hello world program that we have done using Linux C++ compiler. Okay, we have used the Linux C++ compiler in order to compile and build the executable. Okay, so I can go to the program again, and I can explain what is this program. So yes, Archit, go on. Your voice is actually breaking, Archit.
Is this better now, sir?
Yeah, now it's better.
Yeah. So I had a question that we created the executable file using the g++ command,
Exactly.
and it automatically named the file a.out. Can we define the name,
Yeah,
like if
yeah,
we have
yeah.
multiple files?
Yeah. We can change it. I'm actually coming to that actually. After explaining this, I will come to that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. So I'm actually trying to explain the basic code now. So if you're working with Turbo C++, you may be like thinking why we are not adding .h. Okay, we are using iostream header file, but in Linux you just need to mention iostream. That's it. That is enough. Okay, so this is the input output library in C++, and we have added it to our program. Okay, so this is a basic input output library. It's a standard library, meaning if you install C++ in Linux, by default this library will be there. So this is a standard C++ library. It will be there in any C++ installation. Okay, and then the next thing is using namespace std. So can anyone say what is a namespace is? Anyone heard about namespace? Any idea? Namespace? Any idea? Maybe we can do a search. Namespace in C++. Okay, so the namespace basically like the iostream. Maybe I can share the links to you. Just a second. Yeah. Yeah. So the iostream is a standard input-output library, and the namespace is like we can classify or we can categorize a list of function and classes in under a name actually. Okay, which is actually namespace, which is for like what will be the best example? Let me think. Like so we have a course called ROS Developer Learning Path. Okay, so that is consider that is as a namespace. Okay, under this course we have subcategories like there are instructors, there are course mentors, then there are course members. Okay, and there are like there are people that already joined in the last course. Okay, so there are different category of people inside this course. Okay, so if we want to categorize a set of function under a name, okay, then that is called the namespace basically. Okay, so in iostream there is a namespace called std. Okay, std. So under this namespace there are many functions and classes. Okay, there are many functions and classes. So if you are using namespace std means what it means is that we are using this namespace. Okay, and you don't need to add the namespace again. So if you want to access anything inside the namespace, then what you have to do is you have to mention like std : then the function or class, whatever. Okay, so if you are not using this line, okay, if you are not using this line, this is for commenting. Okay, this line you have to mention this. you have to mention std before the function start. Okay, so the cout and endl is actually two functions inside the iostream library and inside the std namespace. Okay, so in order to access the cout and endl, you have to mention the namespace before the function. Okay, so this is how we can access the function. For example, I'm just removing this. Okay, I'm just removing this, and then just a sec. Okay, and I already commented the using namespace. So let's see what will happen. So I'm compiling it. Oh, I got an error that is bigger than my code actually. Okay, so what is the error now? The error is very simple. It's saying in the hello world.cpp cout was not declared, then endl was not declared. Okay, so the compiler itself saying cout was not declared in the scope. Did you mean std cout? Okay, and it's actually giving a suggestion. Okay, it's actually giving a suggestion on the 9th line. So instead of cout, you can say you can mention std under double colon cout. Okay, so just see how much help that compiler giving to us. Okay, it's actually finding the error and giving suggestions to fix that error. Interesting, right? So, and then we are going to the program again. Then we are adding the compiler suggestion, and then I'm saving it, Control O, enter, then Control X for exit, Control L for clearing the screen. Then if we want to get the previous command that we have executed, you can use simply the arrow keys, up and down arrow. You can see the commands coming up. Okay, and then this is a command for compiling, and then it's compiled. Then a.out, and this is it. Okay, so the simple program that we have written, that is a hello world.cpp, you understood, right? It's not simple. I mean, there are a lot of things to learn before working with this code. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, we have a lot of things to learn before working with the simple program. Okay, obviously you might be worked with the C++ basic, but if you are jumping into C++ in Linux, it's somewhat different. Okay, so these things you can take care of this. Okay, like handling namespace. Okay, so if you want to access the functions inside a namespace, you can mention like this. Okay, then after this line, you don't need to mention std : because you are already using it. Okay, now you can call the functions inside the std namespace. Okay, so that is namespace, and then after the namespace you can see the int main, which is the main function of the C++, and we have to define everything inside this main function. Okay, so inside the main function we have just printed a line called hello world, printed a string. Okay, and the main function should return 0. Okay, and then compile and then execute. Okay, so now another question that Arjit asked, like, how can we change the name of the executable? So by default, like we got like a.out, right? So how can we change the name of the executable? For example, if I want to change the name of the executable to Lenten, how can I change? So it's very easy. So along with the g++ space hello world.cpp, just give a space, then hyphen o, okay, small letter o, then give the executable name. Okay, I'm just giving lenten here. So what this command does is that this command will compile the C++ file. Then if the compilation is successful, it will do the build, and then it will create an executable under a name called lenten. Okay, and then I'm just giving ls, and then you can find the lenten executable. So /lenten, then it will print the same. Okay, so our previous binary or executable is there, and also the latest one is also there. Okay, so this is the basic compilation procedure to work with C++ in Linux. I think we need some assignments in C++. I think Rajesh can do that. Maybe he can come up with some example programming. Okay, it may not be related with robotics or something, pure C++. Okay, maybe he can work on this week, maybe to give some C++ assignments to you. That will definitely help you to understand the concepts. Okay, so do you have any confusion in working with G++? Any confusion? I mean, this is a very basic thing. So if you have any confusion, let me know. Any question regarding the compilation, or are you still getting any issues, guys? Any issues? Okay, I hope it's clear to you. Okay, so I just want to show some more things. Like if you want to check the version of G++ that you are using, which version, then you can just use G++ version. Oh, sorry, which G++? Just a second. I think I missed this. Oh. Yeah, this will be good. So if you enter this command, then you will get a lot of details about the G++ version. Okay, G++ space -v, so which will give you a lot of information, and also the GCC version. Okay, so Justin is asking, like previously the executable file had an extension .out, but now the file not extension. So the extension is, yeah, extension is not important. Extension is not important. Yeah, extension is not important. Yeah, so yes, the next question, that's what I am coming. So now you have a confusion, like there is a, you have seen GCC and we have seen G++. So what will be the difference, like GCC and G++? So can anyone say what will be the difference between these, G++ and GCC? The difference is actually, I mean, it's very, very simple. Yes, so what Archit mentioned was correct. Like GCC is only for C, but G++ is for C++. Okay, so the GCC and G++ are very, very similar, but the only difference is using GCC you can compile a C file, okay, specifically, but I think some case, I mean, we can use both actually. Like, yeah, so this is one example. Like if you use GCC space hello world.cpp, then you will get an error. Okay, but I think using G++ we can compile C programs. Okay, maybe I can try hello.c, and one of the header file for C is stdio. Then I'm just giving, oh, I literally forgot everything in C. Let me let me see what. Okay, I'm just writing a C program, okay, in Linux, similar to C++. I just created a C program with like a message called hello world. Then using GCC, I'm just compiling it and it's done. And hello world, okay, or I can just give the output like test, then test. It's working. Okay, so GCC is specifically for C, but I think G++ will work with C and C++. Okay, you can see hello.c, then hello world.cpp. Both are working. Okay, but did you notice the difference? I mean, compilation speed difference. Okay, it's actually very minute, but you can see if you compile G++ space hello.c, it is instantaneous. But if you if you execute G++ hello.cpp, it is taking, some more time, right? So that's what, like, C is obviously faster than C++. See, you can see a minor difference, but if you use G++ hello C, it's instantaneous. Okay, so that means the maximum performance will only get in C compared to C++. But the advantage of using C++ is like we can have the object-oriented concepts, and through that we can create modular software code. Okay, I will discuss about the object-oriented and all, but this is just an introduction, like how to compile and build a basic C++ code in Linux. Okay, so just find the difference between GCC and G++. The difference is that using GCC we can compile only C code, but using G++ we can compile C and C++. Okay, but the G++ is mainly designed for the C++ code. Okay, and then so what's next? Let me see. Yeah, I think we can conclude today's session, because the next topic is GDB, okay, which is an interesting thing. So how many of you tried debugger on your code? Anyone use debugger tools to debug your code? Maybe I can just post used debugger. Anyone use a tool called debugger? No one? Okay, I think only two, right? Yes. So we will see what is a debugger is. It's very interesting tool. Yeah, in Android Studio, in almost all the programming languages there will be a debugger. Basically, like, so we have seen the compiler can come up with errors, right? Like if you made some syntactic mistakes, if you made any mistakes in the syntax, then the compiler will say, hey, you have an error on the line with a colon number this, and there is a suggestion as well. But what if you made a logical mistake? Okay, there are two kind of mistakes in programming. One is syntactic mistake, and next is the logical mistake. Logical mistakes means the compiler will compile it without any issues. There is no syntax error. It will perfectly fine. But when you execute it, then the program will crash. Okay, so we don't know what is happening. It's compiling properly, but it's crashing. So this problem it's a very big problem while working with big projects. Okay, imagine you are working with a code base of 100 C++ code, Okay, 100 is actually very less, but just imagine you have 100 C++ code. Okay, and you have a main code, and which is using this 100 C++ code library, and then when you execute this application, when you execute this project, the project is crashing. Okay, so how do you find the issue in your code? It's very difficult, right? The basic issue is like, basic finding, I am actually pretty lazy in using debugger tool. So what I will do is, like, imagine I am getting an maybe for example, I'm compiling it, okay, and I'm getting an error. Okay, so what I will do is I will just add a print statement or something. Okay, so just to understand where is that error happening. Okay, maybe printf test1, but this is not the recommended method. But most of the programmer, what they does is that they will just add a if the code is compiling successfully, okay, if the code is compiling successfully, in order to find mistakes, they will add a print statement. Okay, just a second. So you can find, like, the code is executing till now, and then there are something wrong happening. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is that in order to find the logical mistake, one of the easiest method is to use print statement. Okay, so the code will execute and it will print all the statement, and some point it will crash. Okay, so then you can figure it out. Okay, this is the point where it is crashing. Okay, so that is the easiest and lazy method that programmers using. But the standard method is using debugger tools. Okay, it's a tool like the compiler, and the duty of the debugger tool is that it's actually for executing the program line by line. Okay, so if you are running a program, you can add breakpoints, meaning the program will stop at that point. Then you can execute line by line. Okay, then you can find where is the crash happening. Okay, so if you are using IDs and all, big IDs, there is the using debugging tool is very easy. But if you want to use in command line, then you have to understand the syntax and all. Okay, so tomorrow what I'm trying to show you is that using debugger, how can we debug a simple C++ code. And I am also suggesting you to go through the object-oriented concept. Okay, I will explain that also tomorrow. Maybe after explaining this hands-on, that is the debugging, then I will start from the object-oriented concept. Okay, so today I didn't discuss because if I'm completely talking about the theoretical things, then it will be boring for you. So I'm trying to include the theory inside some hands-on. Okay, so if you have time, okay, please have a look on to the object-oriented concept in C++. Okay, so that will be very useful for me, because you already have some idea, right? So I think these kind of side geek for geeks is very easy to understand. So you can find these things, the object oriented concepts and all, you can easily find, and just have a quick read on this. Okay, then I will explain the important stuff. Like, I'm planning to explain about the class, then inheritance, which is one of the useful things that we are using in our robot programming. Then inheritance is one of the important one. Okay, so I will explain it with an example. Okay, So if you can go through the chapter, okay, or using some web resources, you can just go through the C++ basics and object-oriented concept. Okay, then for tomorrow's session, I am planning for debugging, like how to debug a basic C++ code, and then I will be talking about like object-oriented concept and then basics of C++, all those stuff. Okay, so please understand that this is a very big topic. The C++ is a very very big topic, so we don't have enough time to discuss all the aspect, but I will just discuss the main important point, and then you have to work with some assignments and all. Okay, so you have to do some homework to improve your programming skills in C++. Okay, so this week we will be mainly working with the C++, and next week we can work a little bit on Python. Okay, so that is only the bandwidth that we have in this course, and then I can give you references so that you can just go through it and try to learn some more concept. Okay, so now it's a Q&A time, so you can comment or ask if you have any question. Today we didn't discuss much. We have been talking about how to compile and how to run a C or C++ code in Linux. Okay, so let me know if you have any more questions. If you have any questions. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
No doubt.
Okay.
Thank you.
So hope it is clear to you, right? So just try this command maybe today or tomorrow when you get time. Okay, so even if you are aware of C++ and all these things, these all are the minute details. Okay, so you can just try it and let's see how it goes. Okay, so yes, so that's it guys. So see you tomorrow at the same time, and tomorrow we will be seeing about debugging, then object-oriented concept and basics of C++, all those stuff, and then I will try to explain some example codes. Okay, and then we will be like winding up with the C++ thing. Okay, then I will give you some assignments. Okay then guys, good night and see you tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.